Welcome back to Easy Coding for Beginners. My name is Samuel and I'm glad that you've joined us for another new episode. In our previous episode, we talked about the style tag and we were able to, add some sort of aesthetics to our HTML document. Even though we've not yet tested the aesthetics in the real practical sense, but we were able to apply the aesthetics using the style tag. So in this particular episode, we are going to focus on the next HTML tag that appears within the head tag, and that is the link tag. So in our construction analogy, the link tag can be compared to, those people who have houses somewhere in town where you don't have a lot of space, but now you have a farm somewhere where there is, huge tracts of land where you can actually buy your agricultural piece of land at different place. So you do your farming in a different place, but you live in a different place because of the space. So whatever you harvest here, you bring it back to your house. So that is kind of the link we're talking about. So in essence, before we go deep, I want to thank all those people who've subscribed, those people who've commented on our videos. And before we go on, I would want actually to read some of those comments. I'll start with John Karanja. Basically, these are comments from the previous videos. John Karanja says, thank you and I'm tuned in. Kuria Jante, as always, our number one fan, says, doing good here, learning each time, loving the consistency. Lillian Terotich, our huge fan, says, link tags sound complicated, looking forward to that, and I'm sure that you were looking forward to that in the previous video. This video, we're going to focus on the link tag, so I hope you've joined us today. Maggie Atoli on YouTube is saying, this is amazing. Thanks a lot, Maggie. Blue African on YouTube, you're saying amazing, short and easy to understand. Kudos. Thanks a lot, Blue African, for the great feedback. Eric Ndula on Facebook, you're saying very impressive. Thanks a lot for our Facebook fans. Linda Lynn on YouTube says, wow, this coding process is actually becoming easier as the videos come. So those are just some of the comments and feedback that we've received from you guys. Keep commenting on our videos on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, Twitter. You can actually see the links on your screen right now. Follow us, subscribe. For those people who have not subscribed and are watching this particular video, kindly subscribe to this video and also follow us on our social media pages based on the links that you've seen. So in this particular episode, we will focus on the link tag, as we said earlier, and I had explained briefly what the link tag is all about. So the link tag, following the analogy that I gave in HTML, is a tag that is used to connect or build a relationship between the current HTML document that you're working with an external resource. So the external resource can be another style sheet. It can be a JavaScript file. We'll look into that in detail. So just know the link tag basically builds a relationship or creates a relationship between the current document that we are working on, in this case, my first HTML project.html, and an external resource, which can be a style sheet, a JavaScript document, or any other document that you'd want to link to the current HTML page. In reality, remember, as we tackled the style tag, we just gave 2 lines of styling. We gave the H1 styling and the P styling. In reality, you'll have thousands of lines of code in your cascading style sheet. So for specifically that reason, you don't want your HTML page to be that long. You'd want at least your main HTML page to be shorter. And that is where the link tag comes into place, because you will create an external style sheet that has all your styling elements within that particular file. And all style sheets, all external style sheets have an extension of .css. .css means cascading style sheet. The same way we talked about HTML. HTML means hypertext markup language. For style sheets, any external file that has styles must be saved with the .css extension. As I've said, CSS means cascading style sheet. So when you've created your external sheet and you want now to link it to your main HTML page so that you can apply the aesthetics that you've set in the external style sheet, we now use the link tag, which will now define that relationship between your external CSS file and your main HTML file. So let's go straight into the practicals. Open our normal file, my first HTML project.html on your Sublime text editor, Now, I want you to create a new file, and this file we will name it style.css. So on your Sublime text editor, just go to file, new, as you can see on my screen. Then save this file as style.css, style.css, as you can see on my screen. Now, save this file under the same folder where my first HTML project.html resides, and that is first-project. You remember that folder where your HTML file resides? So save the style.css file also in the same folder. Now, once you've saved it there, I want you to come back to the Sublime text editor where you've now created the style.css, and I want you to type the following. Just look at my screen and do what I'm doing. So type body, the word body. Remember, I told you we'll have a different series tackling CSS, how to code your style sheets. So don't focus so much on memorizing the styles in this particular episode, but just look at, we are just focusing on the tags and how to link the external files. So this is just for purposes of illustrations, not because I want to teach you the CSS. That will come later. So type body, that is body. Then open your curly brackets. Type font hyphen size. So we want to define the font size, basically the text that is going to appear in your body. We want to give it a size. Remember, we've already given some styling using the style tag initially. Right now, we want now to include another file that is external to add on to the style that we already gave. Now, in this case, what we are adding to what we already gave in the previous episode is just increasing the font size. And I've told you what the font size is just basically the text size that appears on your HTML document. So after opening the curly brackets, as you can see on my screen, type font hyphen size full colon 14px. So let's give it a size of 14px. 14px, px means pixels. So in coding, you give sizes in pixels or in points and all that, but I prefer using pixels for purposes of this example or this tutorial. So just write font size full colon 14px, then close the curly brackets. Then save the file. Remember, we had named it as style.css. Now let's go back to our HTML document, our main HTML document, which is my first HTML project.html. It should be in one of the tabs, as you can see on my screen. It's on the first tab. The second tab is style.css. So click on that first tab where you have my first HTML project.html. If you're not opened it, open it. Now, just below the style tag, remember in the previous episode, we had written the styling using the style tag. Now, just below the closing style tag, the less than / style greater than, just below it and before the closing head tag, I want you to type now the link. This is now where we are linking whatever style that we've created externally with our HTML document. So I want you to type less than sign, open the link tag, less than sign, and then the word link. Now there'll be a difference here as compared to the other tags that we've tackled. In one of the episodes that we talked about, I had told you 90% of tags have an opening and a closing tag. When it comes to the link tag, we call it an empty tag. Now, what an empty tag basically means is you don't have anything, because you're linking into an external file, you don't have anything written in between. So you don't need to have an opening and a closing tag, the same way we've had for HTML, for head, for title, and for style. So for the link tag, it's called an empty element. It does not have a closing tag. It will only have the opening, so you'll do less than link. Now, before you close, you'll have to give it some elements within. These elements are called attributes. And these attributes are the ones that help us link to the file that was externally created. So after you've typed link, put a space, put the word rel. We will deal, this is something that I'll give you as an assignment later on. So just type the word rel is equals to, then open double quotes, write style sheet. As you can see on my screen, basically what rel means is the type of document we want to link is a style sheet. So just type rel is equals to style sheet within the double quotes, then space, then write also href, which is another attribute that can be written within the link tag. Type href, as you can see on my screen. Href is equals to, open the double quotes, remember the name that we gave to our style sheet, the external style sheet. In this case, style.css. So you can see on my screen, it's style.css. Now, a point to note, if you had created, in big web projects, you will create folders specifically for style sheets, because you might have tens or hundreds of style sheets. So you might have a folder specifically for style sheets. If it comes to JavaScript, you might have a folder specifically for JavaScript. So in such a case, on the href, you will have to specify the folder where your style sheet is located. But in our case, we've already saved the style sheet in our root folder, which is the first hyphen project. So we don't need to specify any folder where the style sheet will reside. So in this case, you'll just type style.css and then close that link tag. And as I've told you, the link tag is an empty element. So it does not have a closing link tag where we put a less than / then the name link, and it does not have. This is just part of those tags that are called the empty tags, and I hope you'll note that. So with that, I want to give you an assignment, and I hope you're going to comment on my comment section. I want you to go and research on all attributes that appear within the link tag. We've tackled the rel attribute, and we've also looked at href attribute. There are other attributes that I want you to go and research on. Once you get them, kindly comment on our comment section so that we know at least we are at par. I will not be able to give you everything right now. So just go and research and see what you can come up with regards to the attributes that have to appear with the link tag. So with that, we've actually come to the end of our tutorial today. We've actually linked an external file, an external style sheet to our main HTML page. And I told you, you'll not be able to see it right now. You will see it when we'll be tackling the body tag, where now we'll write the actual code and apply this style sheet. So I want you to always keep that in mind, that we've applied styles to our body. Number one, we've given a style to our heading 1, we've given a style to our paragraph, and we've also given a font size to the text that will appear within the body section. So thanks for joining us in this particular episode. I hope you've had fun, and I hope you keep learning, and make sure you do the assignment that I've given you. Go and research on those attributes that have to appear within the link tag, and make sure that I get to know what you've come up with. And until next time, this has been Easy Coding for Beginners. As always, it's fun, easy to code. It's never that difficult. Share our videos, comment, like, and if there is anything that you would want us to handle that maybe you think we've missed out, you can always communicate to us, connect with us on our social media pages. We'll be glad to get back to you. And until next time, kudos!